our first guest this morning on the For the Sake of 10, where we look at how one person can make a difference, how just a small number of people, and especially, you know, if you use your imagination. We have been told by none other than this gentleman who we give many credits, you know, for his ingenuity, Einstein. He says that it's not about his ability to absorb positive knowledge. His greatest contributions are based on his imagination. So that if we could start using our imaginations in some incredible ways, we could start to see things long before they happen. We can see things that are not yet here. We can transform ourselves, and once you can transform yourself, you can transform your world. So, for the sake of 10, let's touch base with Winroy Williams. Brand new book, Dawn on My Mind. Mr. Williams, how are you doing, sir?
Good morning, Dr. Leahcim Semaj. I am well, and I give thanks for having experienced dawn. It's a new day.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a sign of hope, eh?
Yes, absolutely.
Now, listen, what is it about this? What got you to the point of creating this work of art?
You know, my inspiration comes from people, places, things. Just observing people gives me this great inspiration. This book in particular, Dawn on My Mind, was born out of the feedback that I get from many people when I come across on a daily basis. They talk with me and I will share my thoughts. And in sharing my thoughts, I find how positive they resonate with people. And I would be getting comments like, why don't you write a book?
Yes.
Why don't you put these stuff together? So probably about 2 years ago, I decided to embark seriously on this journey. And hence today, this book, Dawn on My Mind.
Now, it's your first publication?
It is.
Yes. Many times, you know, when somebody has a first publication, whether it's a book or whether it's music, in many ways, you know, it's your whole life that prepared you for that first publication. Is that how you feel about this?
Absolutely. You know, I could answer your question by saying, and it goes for everyone, you're really the sum total of your experiences.
Yes.
Indeed.
Now, your background is science, you know, pharmaceutical industry you have worked in. Now, is this the other side of you? Because I experienced this on my other side. As an engineering student, I used to write poetry, and that was the other side of me. So is the side of you that created this book, is it the other side of you, or is it the side that you really exist on?
You know, I want to think it's the other side, because I have been a science student for all my life.
Yes.
And interestingly, if I may tell you, as a child growing up, I really didn't like literature. I would read because, yes, my father was a principal and I grew up in what you call a school cottage.
Yes.
So I would be reading all these books in the library. But formally, literature as a study, I really didn't like it. So this idea of me writing only came about when I probably reached the university where I was in charge of some cultural affairs. And that is how I discovered that side.
I found an interesting thing that you actually include a glossary in the back where you give the Jamaican expression and then the English equivalent. What prompted that?
Well, you see, when I send out any message, whether it's in the form of a thought or the spoken word, it doesn't go only in one country where one resides. It's a global effect.
Yes.
And as such, I expect many persons to be reading this book worldwide. So to sell that part of Jamaica, I had to put what I mean when I put words in patois.
To the world.
To the world.
And was that in it? You have that, D-A-T. Is it? Now, you realize what's happening with the Super Bowl this year with the New Orleans Saints having some controversy with the NFL as to who owns the term, who that.
Okay.
Now, and then the NFL is claiming that they own it. Nobody can use who that without giving them, without permission and paying them. Now, they both have to talk to us, Jamaica, because who that? That's what we talk from long time.
Absolutely.
So they're now trying to claim our language. and trying to claim that they own the copyright on our language. So that's a whole nother discussion. But you have to already hear that is what Jamaicans say for the word that.
Yes, that is a Jamaican term, and we are sure about that.
We're sure about that.
We're sure about that.
Yes, yes. All right. When you create something like this, is there one piece or so that for you it is your favorite? Can you afford to have a favorite? Can you afford to have a favorite child?
Yes. I hesitate when I say yes, but it must be a yes. You are entitled to have favorites. And I don't know if you want me to share like a favorite line, a favorite poem.
Yes,
I have favorites.
No, is there? I mean, which could you read the favorite for me? Because that must have special meaning.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to share with the world, and I may say the world because I know Hot 102 is certainly transmitting to the world. And I'm going to read this poem from the book Dawn on My Mind, and it is called Just How Come.
What page is that now? Okay, page 25.
Page 25.
I found it. Yes, yeah.
How can we understand happiness without experiencing sadness? How do we know what's more if we don't know what's less? We say something is the worst, yet we don't know what's the best. If we can't let go of life, then how will we ever get beyond death? Life's seemingly extremes are but one and the same of a particular concept. Just imagine, how could we ever awaken without having slept? Just how could we believe in so many lies and allow the truth to be the best kept secret? Just how come? If nothing is new under the sun, then how do we revive old concepts? Just how come? In this ocean of life, just how could we experience high tides and none low? After all, the more we know, the more we realize how much we still don't know. Asking of nature for only sunshine would never be fair to the rain. Same is it in wishing for man joy, thinking there'll never be pain. He who has had a great loss should prepare oneself for an even greater gain. Wild animals will cease being themselves, only if they are tamed. How can we truly appreciate if we do not experience war? In the midst of evil, good is never too far. That's what happens in most cases when things turn around. Out of hatred, true love and harmony can be found.
Well said. This helps people to understand the balance of life, the balance of nature. As you read one of the lines about the sun and the rain, I frequently remind people of a thought I heard, that a life of perpetual sunshine creates deserts.
Absolutely.
So we need to have the balance. So you must, whether the good and the bad, up and the down, if you accept the balance of nature and of life, then you'll find it.
Absolutely.
Now, on page 22, seek God.
Understand.
I find interesting that you write the word see, open and close quotation with a K. Is it because you're talking about seeing God and also, in a sense, finding God, seeking God?
Yes, that was done deliberately.
Yes.
My way of playing on words, it's intentional. And here am I saying that we should see God. And in seeing God, we seek God.
Yes.
It's almost one and the same for me.
But if you are reading this, though, would the person hearing you understand what you're trying to do? Because I can see what you're doing on the printed word. But if the person was listening to you, would they hear what you're trying to do?
I would make an effort. For example, if I may read just the first line.
Yes.
It would go like this. Seek God in the universe because he created everything. So I would be playing on the seek God.
Okay, I see. So they will hear that you're really making...
It must resonate with you. Seek God.
Yes. Seek God in the mountains, in the rivers, and the trees. Seek God in the storm and in the gentle breeze. Seek God all day long and throughout the night. Seek God with all your heart and all your might. But we are but reflections of God, because us he made in an image of himself. God thinks highly of us and wants us to be somewhat like him. And just as we would stand before the mirror to seek an image of ourselves, so shall we seek God when and even when we're not stand before him. I see. Well, well done, well done.